We're going to go through one camera setup. We're going to go through a series of different lighting setups. In particular, and most importantly, we're going to go through two particular lighting looks: high key and low key. High key, everything is bright, sunny, inviting, warm. Low key, everything is kind of dark, high contrast, sinister, threatening, cold. Okay? Thank you, sir. Yep. Get this lined up. All right, the first thing. All right. First thing I want to show you before we get anywhere else. We ended up in our list talking about shape. I want to give you an example of another way to do shape. Now, we talked about the advantages of these lights being that they are hard lights. It's a relatively small light source. That means the edges of the shadows are going to be very distinct. Right? That's a very dramatic look. That's a very sinister look. That's a very sometimes kind of threatening look. Although it is the look we get from sun. So sometimes we want to soften that up. We want to make it a little more appealing, a little more flattering. And we looked at ways to do that, right? We put a little piece of diffusion on there. Didn't do a lot. We put that 3x2 silk in front of it. That did something. Put a nice big shower curtain in front of it. That did a lot more. These 300 lights do come with their own built-in, not built-in, but attachable softbox, which is also referred to as a chimera when it looks like this. So it's like an umbrella. Now, right?
Someone just fell right there.
Oh.
That does not look like part of it, so I'm not going to worry about it. It might be part of a zipper or something. The thing that's missing from here that I'm most disappointed in and went missing literally 2 days after we bought it is there's a nice screw, a little bolt that goes in here that keeps it from collapsing. None of them have that anymore. Luckily, they're pretty sturdy. This has got the Bowens mount, right? It's like a big reflector, right? We know that exaggerates the light, that amplifies the light. It's got the Bowens mount, so it's going to fit on this light just like. Let me think if I can grab this side. So let's be sure we're going in straight.
Just like how he showed us with the hood thingy.
Yep. This didn't have a, and you hear it click, right?
Yeah.
Right. This didn't have a cap on it, did it? Right? They're supposed to have caps on them. Yours had a cap on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they should have something like this to protect these incredibly expensive lights. Do not turn them on with this on, because that just destroys the light. Now, what you do with this, and mine actually help me with this too. You've got this piece of translucent material. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to Velcro it on the inside here. I want to leave some of this Velcro open. So you take that side, right? Wherever you find a piece of Velcro, just stick it on.
And do you have to check out these separately, or are they?
Well, they're supposed to come with the 300s. You can check them out, I think, separately if you want one for the 120s.
Okay.
That's good. That'll work. Okay, so now, can we strike this, please?
Alright, striking.
And let's kill the overhead lights. What percentage are we on this light there?
64%.
Take it up to 100. Let's just see what this light does. All right. Now, if we look at Reese right now, I haven't done a proper exposure or anything here, but we can see that the shadows are pretty soft edged.
It's at 100.
Okay. Now, here's the problem with soft light, and sometimes why people like using hard light. Can I get the largest flag that we've got? Soft light, because the shadows are so indistinct, soft light is very hard to control. So if I want to take the light off the back wall, it doesn't do much. It's just going everywhere. It's bouncing all over the place. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is look. This light is extending from Reese on the TV all the way around to this door. You're not the door, that's the door. Okay? And it's almost impossible for us to really effectively, without lots of big pieces of equipment, kind of control where that light is going. So, these come with another piece. I'll ask you to help me with this too. This is called a grid, sometimes referred to as an egg crate. It's about, I want to say about an inch deep. And what this does is this helps to direct the light forward. So we're going to go around again, Almighty, hopefully without going blind. You may have to stretch it a little bit on occasion. Now, this will cut down the amount of light a little, but really not much. But look at how much we control the light. Look what's going on behind Reese now.
It's not expanding as much.
That light now starts about there and ends about there. We've managed to take this nice big soft light and direct it. That's what this is for. And if you want to know how this works, it's pretty simple. If I'm standing here without this, I see the light. If I see the light, I'm lit. Right now, with this on, I can't see the light. All I can see is the grid. If I start to come out here, now I can see the light. So this whole area gets blacked off. Over here, if I'm standing here, I can't see the light, and I can't really see the light until I get to about here. So all that area gets blacked out and darkened. So this is nothing more than a way to direct the light. I just wanted you to be familiar with this piece of equipment before we get started with our actual examples. Can we get the overheads back on just for a minute, somebody? Let's kill this as soon as the overhead comes on. Thank you. All right, we're going to take this out because we're actually not going to be using this today. I'm just sitting that back there. We'll collapse it later. All right, what I want is for a couple of people to be on that 300D. Let's get the reflector and the barn doors on this, guys. Don't make a line and do everything. Reflector, what does a reflector look like?
Did anyone by chance move a thing of yogurt?
No.
Okay. I put it down and now I don't know where it went.
I'm staring at the reflector.
I actually,
This is the reflector.
I'm so confused.
Right, right. Now, this is very useful. This doubles the amount of light coming out of this light. Doubles it. An entire stop difference when you put this on and when it's not on. Now we do need the barn doors. Are there barn doors in there?
No. I got one over here.
They're really, oh, I don't, shit. Screw it. You can see this has a little grid to try to direct the light a little bit as well. Oh, good, it just pops out. Good. Okay. So to put this on, we've got to find our two contact points, right? Those both clip over the edge. We on over there, Mike?
There we go.
There we go. And now this, we pull that up and put it in there. All right, now, here's what I want you guys to do. I want short-sighted Rembrandt lighting on Reese. Where does the light need to go?
You said short.
Short Rembrandt. So which is the short side of Reese's face? Your line of view is always towards you. I'm going to just cheat you a little bit in the chair. Short. Here you go.
There's 12. Yeah.
So it should be over here.
It should be over there. That is correct. Okay, so now we know which side. Let's figure out where we think it needs to be.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Front
that's
of
true.
Michael.
About right here.
Okay, let's kill the overheads. Let's turn that light on and see what we got.
I can't see the controls no more. There we go.
All right, let me adjust the exposure. Okay, so what you've got right now is, and the more you can be looking at yourself, Reese, the easier we can do this. Now, what you're looking at right now is split lighting, right? Because one side of his face is lit and the other is in shadow. We want that triangle. So which way does the light need to go, do we think, to get that triangle?
Could it be going, could it be tilted up maybe?
This is going to have nothing to do with tilting.
Okay, so
Moving this
maybe I
closer
need to
farther
move
in.
over here then.
Moving the barn doors won't have any effect either. This is all about where the light is and the direction of the light. So you need to keep coming this way.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, until we get some light on that other side of his face.
I thought you meant a triangle
Okay.
shadow the other on his right side.
I do, on his right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry to get in there.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
The right that
Now, let's stop there.
Too far.
Take it back. All right. We have closed the shadow, right? But we've got all this. Pardon me, right? We don't want that. How do we bring this shadow down so it covers this part of the face and just leaves the triangle?
It's fine that we got an actor today.
What do we think?
Bring.
Take the light up. Now, before you take it up, let's tilt it down a little bit because as we go up, we're going to lose our view. Okay. So we need to start going up until that shadow closes down over his mouth. Light needs to go up.
Oh.
It literally needs to go up.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, duh.
Yeah, there you go.
You got it.
Okay, see where it's going?
More.
All right, let me take a look. I'm blind because I looked in the light.
We should have worn a hat today.
Never look in the light. No, you shouldn't have.
You'll need hats for lab, so you can see.
Okay. I would just say we're losing the shadow connection a little bit, so you might want to just ease it that way a tad bit. Okay. Again, I can't see. I'm sorry. A little bit more, Mommy. Just a little bit. Okay, right there. All right. And I.
Jake, does that actually do anything?
It's supposed to dim the lights on the barn doors.
It also is a little
No,
directional.
well, from where it looks like the light is still completely coming through to your eyes.
It's more directional.
Oh.
It's just a smaller version of what we just put on the
Okay.
light, right?
Okay.
Okay, all right, now we've got Rembrandt lighting. We've got hard Rembrandt lighting. Just so we know, let's keep track of what our exposures are. We're going to be talking about all of these items today as we go through. Hold on.
Now, what's the difference? So this is different than like using a photography camera with a built-in light meter, because it's getting the light there, not the light from the camera.
Yes, and the camera is often going to average out unless you have a sort of point
Mm-hmm.
that you can do. It's also going to eventually give you a more accurate. Hold on, if I go there. Although it's giving me nothing right now.
And a light meter, it gives you suggested settings, or
It will tell you mathematically which setting. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do math and talk. It'll
Okay.
mathematically tell you exactly what setting gives you the exact proper exposure. Now, there's a bit of a problem with that.
what is that device called?
Hmm?
A light meter.
The light meter.
This
This is based on a certain level of gray, right?
Oh.
So do we have a certain level of gray out there? This setting would turn it that exact gray. The problem with that gray is that gray has been designed to equate to your skin and not to your skin or your skin, right? The whole system, and yours, I don't want to exclude anyone. The whole system is essentially racist. Right? Color correction is also based that way. So there may need to be some adjustment. This is mathematically going to tell us where we need to be to give us that gray. And it tells us we need to be at a 7. An F7.
Is there a market for me to corner here with that?
I don't know. So
Increase the light
F7
meter.
will put us, hold on, right about there. Okay? Okay. That's our key light. We're going to call that set for the moment. I need the 120D to be backed all the way up into here. Leave it at about that level, point it straight at Reese. Oh, no, I'm glad you didn't. I like people to talk.
You say pointed straight across.
At Reese. You can let it all the way down. You can lower it all the way down. You just need to angle it at him. And do we have barn doors for that?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we get the barn doors. We get barn doors. So, so those two clips have to be on. Once they are on, you put that in. All right. Okay, striking. Can we turn that on, please? Striking. Okay, what percentage are we at on that?
We're at 52%.
52%. Just for the start off, take it to 100.
We're at 100%.
Okay, at 100,
No shadow.
a proper exposure on this side is a 9. That means this is about a half a stop brighter than that side. That's not normally the way we want to use a fill light, because we're doing 3.5 in a day. We got a key, we got a fill, we got a back. Okay, so we're going to try to pick the kind of contrast ratio that we like. Let's take it down to 75. And we're looking at high key lighting at this point. We want the room to feel bright and let's take it down to, what, we're 75, take it down to 50.
It's at 50.
Okay, now do me a favor, just creep it up until I tell you. All right, right there. All right. Right now we've got a 7.1 over here and a 4.5 over there. So that's about 2 full stops darker on one side. So our contrast ratio is relatively low, right? If we want to see a high contrast ratio, turn that light off for a second.
Saving.
That's a high contrast ratio, right? Because if we look at what our exposure would need to be over here, we're looking at a 1.4. So it's like 5 or 6 stops different, right? All right, let's turn that light back on, striking.
Sure.
Okay? So let's live with that for just a moment, for the time being. Okay, we want this to work as a backlight. And I want it to be set at a color temperature, let's have all the color temperatures match, 5600 please.
Striking.
Before you guys leave today, you should take a look at the control panel on this light, because there's a lot we can do with this light. We're not going to be doing that much with it right now. So what I want to do is a backlight. I want it to be as much behind him as I can get it. Okay? So what I want to do is kind of go back into there as much as we can until it's on camera. Once it's on camera, we have to back it out, kind of like boom. All right,
Getting some shadow there.
that's okay. We'll take care of that shadow in a minute. Now you're in, so take it out a little bit. Now let's start taking it up. Actually, before we start taking it up, let's get an exposure. What percentage are we on at this point?
10%.
10% of that light. Okay.
That's a good question.
Let's start taking it up.
Oh, take it up, sorry.
Yep, take it brighter. Brightness.
This is 25,
Okay, keep going.
40,
Keep going.
65,
Keep going.
80,
Okay, keep going.
100.
All right, at 100, we're about equal. We're about equal to, actually no, that's definitely brighter. Why am I doing that? All right, now for a backlight, we want to get the light on the shadows, light on the top of the head, which means that light's got to go up, literally up.
Watch out for the
Yeah. You want this?
thing above you.
Alright.
Okay.
Why is that being?
I'm gonna pan it a little bit. Something's looser. Something looser.
It feels a little loose, I think.
Probably sure it's on him, but I want to go on the back wall too. Okay? All right. Now, one of the things we've got going here, and this is going to change everything that we're doing, right? We're going for high key lighting, sunlight, warmth, brightness, right? We've got hard edge shadows. We don't really want that. Okay? So what we need to do is get a C-stand with the silk on it over here. And when we do that, we're going to change the exposure of this light, which means we're going to have to change the exposure of that light and change the exposure of that light. Who wants to get a paper hand? All right. Okay, leave that there. What we're actually going to do is loosen that so that we can swing this out that way. Okay. Now, we're going to put the weight, swing it out that way. Now, we're going to put the weight out there. Go ahead and tighten this. Notice that as we push on this, it's pushing it that way, so it's tightening it. So we've got it in the right place. Now we need to get the flag in here.
There's another one on the cart. Right there.
Oh, he's got, I'm sorry, we needed the silk in here. He's got it right here, man, so come on back.
She's gonna stand back.
Oh, good. We like that. Okay, what I want to do is get this. In fact, I'm going to do this a little bit. Try this on here. I want to get this between the light and the wreaths.
Other leg, big leg,
Other leg.
big leg.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay. We're going to start with it right there for the time being. We've obviously got some issues. We've got some shadows. We've got other stuff. Okay, so let's kill the fill light for a moment, please. Oh, it didn't get that much darker. Okay, now if we look at Reese, we can see the let's kill that for a minute too, because we're going to have to deal with that lens flare in a moment. Okay, let's just look at this one light. Now, let's see how much light that took away from us. We were at an f7.1. We are now at a 3.6. It's like 2 stops. Okay? So we have to open this up to about there. Okay, is that in focus? Yeah. This monitor is very orange, and I haven't been able to actually fix that. But we can see now the shadow, well, let's go from up here. The shadow on Reese's face, it's still Rembrandt light, we've still got the triangle, but it's much softer, right? Now, let's turn on the fill light, because we're going to have to adjust it.
Striking.
Because if we're at 3.6 here, we want the fill light to be at something like 2. So start taking it down. Let's try it right there for a second. Yeah, that looks very much like what we had. Actually, just crank, what are we on?
We're at 35%.
Let's take it up to 2.8, so take it up just a little bit. A little more, right there. Okay, now remember, we want a low contrast ratio because we want this to seem bright and inviting. Now, one of the other things we can do is we can take some of this off of Reese's chest, and now we have this sense of sunlight that may be coming in, but his face is still in this nice kind of flattering contrast. Okay, now, we've got a couple other issues to deal with. We do have a nice sort of reflection of light hitting that panel back there. That also feels kind of like sunlight coming in. So I'm going to say I kind of want to live with that. Let's turn on the backlight again and see what we're getting from this now, which is going to be a lot.
Striking.
Yeah. So let's start Can you reach it?
I think I have to lower it a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll do that real quick.
All right, let's start bringing it down.
Okay. We'll move
We're at 8, we're at 7. Keep going. 6. Leave it there for a second. So generally speaking, we kind of want our fill light to be dimmer than our key light and our backlight to be brighter. So we've got that kind of 3-point contrast going on. So now the only thing I would say right now that's bothersome to me is, other than Peyton, all this stuff back here looks terrible.
Thanks.
I didn't want to point in your direction and go, look how horrible that looks. I'm not sure which is less appropriate. Okay, so we can open this up. We can get some stuff going on back here. Hopefully. Don't lie to everything. And now I want that light in here. And you know what? We don't even need the stand. You can take it off the stand and just bring it in. We'll Hollywood it, as they say.
Ooh.
Hollywood. All right. Let's just lay it right here facing up. You can do that in there. Let's crank it on. Let's turn it all the way up.
It's like scrub.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
Okay, now that room in the back is darker, right, than the rest of it, but it still feels relatively bright and inviting. Let me see if this actually helps it a little bit. I think that's going to be weird looking. Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, no.
And let's get this door catching a little bit of light as well. Okay. All right. The only thing we've got going that's just slightly problematic, I'm not going to stress over it too much. This is going to block out my GoPro for a second, but we are getting a little bit of light going down the barrel of the lens from our backlight. So if we bring this right to there, right, just right out of the frame, we can block that off. I'm going to call that done for high key. All right? We're going to change this to low key now, okay? But when we finish with all this, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to do some stuff with it. Now, the other thing that no, let's save that for you. Okay. All right. So, low key lighting, high contrast, drum. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing we can do with this. We have got 3 lights right now, all of which are daylight balanced. They're all at 5,600 degrees Kelvin. We can take our color temperature and we can start telling the camera, going the wrong direction, sorry. Start telling the camera that the light is bluer than it actually is. We can go up to like 7,000. And we can even warm this up a little bit. Can we take the fill light down just a tiny bit? We lost some definition there. That's a little better, I think, right there. All right, so we can warm the whole image up a little bit if we feel like that. Where's peaking? Oh, I feel like he's not in focus because I'm going blind, that's why. There we go. Okay. All right, now, one other thing I want to do. I want you to see what each light is doing. Would you please turn off the back light and turn off the fill light?
Saving.
So this is what our key light is doing, right? We could even emphasize this back here a little bit by moving things around. I'm not going to worry about it, but I think this is help selling the idea of some sunlight coming in. All right, let's turn on the fill light.
Striking.
And let's turn off the key light.
Saving.
That's what the fill light is doing for us. Notice we just went from high key to low key by turning one light off, basically. All right, let's turn the backlight on
Striking.
and turn the fill light off.
Saving.
Ooh.
Your ear is glowing.
Charisma.
And I think we know what the light in the back room is doing, right? And once again, just to
It draws you focus.
This adds some depth to the background.
point this out. It's also nice that those monitors have those pretty images on them instead of something horrible, right? Right, that's what it looks like without.
That glare.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's turn on the key light,
Striking.
turn off the backlight. Can somebody go in the room and turn off the back room light, the background light? Okay. First thing we're going to do is get rid of this.
Goodbye.
I can't believe we've managed to bend these things. You know how hard it is to bend these things. Okay, we'll just let this sit here for a moment. Okay? Now, we're back to hard lighting. We're back to very hard lighting, as a matter of fact. And we're back to, I'm going to guess we're still at a 7.1. We are. So let's get our exposure back properly on this. About there. Okay. Now, we've got the hard shadows. We may decide we don't want any fill light at all. In fact, I'm going to say let's do decide that. I'm also going to say let's decide that we're not going to have this kind of backlight that we had before. That backlight suggests sun, it suggests a window, it suggests warmth, it suggests something coming in, right? So what I want to do with this light, if anyone wants to get their hands on it. First of all, I want to bring it down a little bit, just down on the stand. That's good. We'll do it like that, just so we can, at least we can reach it. And I want to bring it out here. So watch your cabling. I want to turn our backlight into a rim light. Good job. All right, let's see. Let's turn it on here. Let's strike it here and see where we are at this point. Yes. Okay. Can we, let's borrow the barn doors. I think we fit. Barn doors on everything. Would you mind turning that off for a second? I believe we managed to get these on there yesterday.
Oh my gosh. I'm having war flashbacks.
Oh, what?
Of the lab, the day where you couldn't get them on.
That's right. Somebody managed to do this yesterday. I do know that. Hold on a second. Let's do this a simple way. It's not designed for this, so it's going to have to be a little bit. I know we did it. I know we did it. This is what I want to spend my time doing. Why don't these Vedoxes have bingo? Yay. Thank you very much. Okay, now, something loose. Oh, it's just something weird about it. Yeah, it's just that. Okay, all right, let's turn that light back on. All right, so what we got going on, I just blocked it off of him. Okay, let's see what we got on this one. you see what percentage was? I don't know, let's leave it where it is. I like it where it is. Anyway. Yeah.
Is it like 30 or something?
Yeah, the only thing I want to try to do is. Okay, Reese. All right. Now, what we've done now is by not using the fill light. In fact, I need to go. Let's go back a little bit more. Well, this is the other thing, by the way, guys. Our subjects move. Right? So if Reese looks at me right now, turn your head. He's no longer in Rembrandt lighting. He's in something else. If he looks at me over here, he's no longer in Rembrandt lighting, he's in something else. If he looks back at himself and leans forward in his chair, that's still pretty much Rembrandt lighting. But we could control that, right? So what we're doing now, okay, sit back, is we have got 3 levels here. This is what the Italians like to call chiaroscuro, light and dark. We've got light, we've got shadow, we've got light, right? If we turned the fill light on, that shadow would go away. But we're looking for shadows. We're looking for darkness at this point, right? Now, one of the things that's a problem right now is that we've got way too much light around Reese, right? So one of the things I want to do is turn this upside down. Notice that there's one edge of this that doesn't have a hard side, right? So that's going to kind of feather. It's not going to be as distinct. Okay, so we take a little bit of the light, first of all, off him. Now, do we have another C-stand? We've got one right there. Okay, we need to put the arm, we take the attachment for the aperture off and put the arm back on. Would you get me my Venetian from between the lectern and the desk? And then did we get the food cook along with the cookie?
No.
Can you grab that real quick? Yeah.
Do you want it right here?
Yeah, let's bring it. Let me show you. I'll tell you what. Let me show you where I want to put this, and then you tell me where you think the stand needs to be. So let's bring this back a little bit to get it out of the way. Bring that back up a little bit. All right. What I want to do is that. So what I need is this. Let's do this. So spin that out that way, right? Like this. Okay. And what I can do is, there's some teeth on here. I can loosen this. I can put this right in here. Right? I can tighten it up. So now, you kind of saw about where I had it. What we're going to do is slide this out and crank that thing up until we get that Venetian blind pattern on that back wall. The other thing we want to do is put our color temperature back to 5600. Yeah, I wanted the Venetians the other way. So instead of going up with this, you just go up with the whole stand. Yeah, that's it. And I don't want it on Reese for the time being. I only want it on the wall. Instead of doing that, spin it back out this way and just pull it that way, and then we'll have, yeah, keep going. All right, now let's crank it up and see where we are. Okay, you can leave it right there. Okay? Now, we don't want to turn the lights on in the back room this time, because we want the back room to seem a little ominous and a little sinister, right? I used to have a really cool looking little lamp that I put back in there, just gave it a pop of light, but I don't know what happened to it, so we'll have to do without that. Now, right now, it still feels awfully bright. We can deal with that in terms of exposure by taking it down about a stop. Okay? And that should stop moving there in a minute. Right? Now, there's some other things that we can do, and that's what's fun about this. I'm gonna bring it down even further so we can.
Does that light not have like a control panel, like that you could connect like this?
No, it doesn't. All the controls are here on the back. That's why I say to all of you, you know, before you leave today, take a look at those control panels, take a look at these control panels. So one of the things we can do here, we can change the color temperature. So maybe we should play with that really quick. Let's see, let's leave it at 25 so I can remember it. Okay. Here we go. So right, if I go down, this light starts getting more orange. If I go up, and I can go up to as high as 65, we get a little bit of a colder feeling on that. We may want the whole thing to feel a little bit colder in the long run, because that's going to be more appropriate for low-key lighting. But the other thing I can do with this, now we may want to think about, is that motivated, right? Is there some kind of neon light outside a window? Is there some kind of redder display? But we could turn that light into any kind of color we want. We know red is the color we respond most emotionally to. So popping that red on his face is definitely going to have an effect, okay? The other thing that we can do, and let's get some, Nathan, let's get some daylight color correction. Let's see if we got a full CTB, which is color temperature blue. And we're going to need, can somebody see if they can dig up some clothespins from that big, that's a lot. Let's try this one.
So there's a lot of them spread in.
So to do this, I'm going to have to bring this light down for a minute, and we'll take it back up. You see any in there? They're like a Ziploc. Are you trying to tell me that my light kit is not neatly packed? So if we do want a little bit of something colder, without changing the color temperature of everything else in the image, we also took the exposure down just a tad. Oh, we're not supposed to be on this. Sorry, forgetting which one I'm doing. All right, I'm looking at an 11, which would be there. Okay, but we might want to just bring it down just a tad. Okay, that also turned our light on the back wall a little bit colder as well. Okay, so one of the other things I want to do, and I may need you to slide a little bit together. I want to use what's going on in here. Usually we get a little bit of a reflection off this door from that monitor. I'm not seeing it today though. Yeah, let me get the specs off the screen. I can't even see what I'm looking at. More on the doorknob, I think. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit on the top. Open it up a little bit more. A little more, right there. So we're just getting a little pop off the door. So that gives us a little something. Now, if I want to increase this scenario, all right? Do you want to be our menacing figure in the doorway again today? So don't move that door. Just come stand here with your arms crossed. Okay. And I need someone. Come here. Bring a chair. Or that chair will be fine. I want to put you right about here. I want to get you just as a A little bit in the foreground. Got it? Okay. Have a seat. I'm going to move your way. Now you'll need to stay kind of still for me if you don't mind. Push you just a little further. Okay. So now he's picking up a little bit of that rim light, right? We got a little story going on. Right? Now, we can also No, I want the Cucaloris. We're going to Hollywood that. Okay, so now we've got this little bit of light that's hitting. Actually, no, I really do want to. I have to get closer. I have to get closer. That's what I have to do. Hold on to Cucaloris. I do this every year, and it's different every time. See, now, once it stops moving, and I'd say we probably want to open it up just a tad. We've got some texture, we've broken up the light on his face. We've broken up the light on the back wall. It's a sense of place, right? When it stops moving, it'll look a lot better. Okay? We've got somebody in the foreground. Let me strike this for me.
Striking.
Strike? Oh, wow.
It's just really.
Yeah. Getting anything, because we're kind of on the right. You're getting a little bit of something, I think. Okay. We'll pull you in one more time, just a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, that's low key light. Now, the other thing we could do is we could forget about the Venetian blind effect. Oops, wrong thing. Wrong C-stand. And we could go with something like this. Sure, I'm tall enough to do that. Right? Which again, if I hold it still, I can place it so it just breaks the light up on his face and on the background. Gotta go over here. There we go. It's a little weird, a little distinct. We had some fun with moving it the other day. It felt a little like leaves blowing in the wind. So let's put it on this real quick. Who wants to help me do that? You understand it right here. Let's put it here where the Venetian is. Pull it out. Yeah, that's the big one. You go ahead and
You need to go
right there, that one right there. You see it? Okay. Here we go. Cool. All right. Back. Doesn't look as good as it did the other day. I don't know whether we were closer to it or.
I think we may have been closer. I don't know.
I can't get much closer. We might have been.
Well, maybe a little further away.
Further away makes it more distinct. It was that's more like it. Something like
Yeah. Can't remember exactly how we had it set up.
that. I mean, it's just fun. It's just something to do. So let's lock this in for a minute. Let's see what all the lights are doing, okay? So let's kill the fill light and the rim light, please.
Saving.
Saving. All right. Now, again, if Reese moves around, he's going to move in and out of those shadows, right? If he leans forward, he's going to move in and out of those shadows a little bit. He moves into one light, he moves out of another, right? But that's what our key light is doing. It was also doing the Venetian blind before. Let's turn on the fill light and turn off the key light.
Striking.
Saving.
So the only thing our fill light's doing right now is giving us a little illumination on our foreground, right? So let's turn on the rim light.
Striking.
Okay. And turn off the fill light,
Saving.
and that's what we're getting from that, right? Other than the monitors in the back room, this is all three lights. Well, right now it's one light, right? We get that with one light. Okay, what time is it, somebody?
12:30.
12:30. We got about 5 minutes before we have to start packing everything up. Would you guys like to play with this?
Can I just
Change
see
things
what it
around.
looks like without
You
the-
can do
the
anything.
glare?
You can do anything you want with it.
I just want to see.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Nice.
I would put that on a C-stand and leave it there, but I did that one semester and then realized all I had was black footage from my GoPro, from my GoPro, and you guys will see later what the advantage of the GoPro is. Yeah, there you go. That takes it out. You know, if we raised it up, we could take it out a little bit too. If we angled it slightly differently, but that's the way you deal with that. Okay, let's just turn the key light on for a minute, if we will.
All right. Striking.
What do you guys want to do? You want to move things around? You want to change colors? You want to get rid of something? You want to add something? What do you want to do with it?
Guys.
Now let's have some fun.
Change the color of the red light. I just want to see something.
Did you guys see how to do that?
I want to see what it's.
What kind of?
Check.
If you're
Do
in
you
the
like
right.
the green, like any color change? I just want to see.
Green is always very effective for this kind of low-key feeling. It's got that weird
Huh?
sort of. In fact,
No,
Well,
they're not.
same light but like different colors.
No, they're not the same light.
Well, they're not the same. I mean,
No, they're completely
yeah, different.
completely different.
no, they can't.
No, it's different. You can't change colors, unfortunately.
Are you finished?
Yeah. Just.
So me, Trevor, and 3 other guys had to physically pick up a bench yesterday.
Somewhere.
What?
Pretty sore.
Hello there.
And now I'm absolutely totally blind.
You want to really see what the color is doing, you can just fly this out.
Not doing much.
It's more of a yellow on it.
It does, yeah. What do you want to do? You want to do anything else? That's it? How about? Yeah, it does. Okay, that's that. Those buttons there, I can't see them.
Turn off that one. I want to see what it looks like with just the blinking.
So that was paparazzi. This is TV. That's candlelight.
Oopsies.
That's firelight. That is fireworks. There's my ride. Let's turn the key light back on for a second.
Alright, striking.
License is
You can drink it. Because this does that too. Although
Yeah,
this one's a little bit
It
more.
has a strobe with that. I
This
don't
one's a
know.
little bit more into.
Oh my god, rave.
Brave.
On the stand.
It's one of those silent discos.
I always have trouble figuring out.
Everybody's my
Close your
head.
eyes.
Please do not move, Monty. You are my shield.
Okay.
How do you change it on this? I've forgotten, guys.
Try.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks is doing.
On the key light.
Oh, somebody's getting
key
arrested
light,
on the
I
4th
mean-
of July.
So faulty bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like a street light. That's cool.
Yeah, keep your eyes closed. This bothers you guys, isn't it? Right, that's supposed to be lightning. Lightning is the thing that doesn't work on this. We've never been able to get it to work right. TV.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Reese. He's going, why did I volunteer today?
Just give me a headache.
Now, you know, in a narrative situation, you want to try to motivate this, right? You want it to have a reason. So this guy's getting ready to be arrested. That's a perfect reason for these red and blue lights to be flashing on back there. There's a storm outside. Makes sense for lightning, right?
Well, there's a
You want to do something,
sunset.
Zach? You want to do something with it?
No.
All right. It's about time to pack up anyway. Okay. Before we do that, let's save all the lights, turn on the overhead, somebody please. Next week, I'm going to be sending you guys an email today, and it's also going to be in the Discord. Next week is your day. You guys get in the Discord, you look at samples I send you, you talk to each other, probably somebody takes a little bit of charge, right? And you figure out what you want to light. You want to take a scene from Euphoria and make it look like that? Great. You want to take a scene from Moonlight, make it look like that? Great. I'll send you all sorts of examples. You can come up with your own. You can probably get away with doing 2 of them in one lab if you work efficiently. So if you want to get engaged in this, you know, get in that Discord and start talking to each other.
Either one is